Evening, partner. Recently, a couple buckaroos and I rounded up together, went and saw The Magnificent Seven. It's a film directed by Antoine Fuqa, and I can't do this the whole video, so I'm gonna go back to my normal voice. So, The Magnificent Seven is a film directed by Antoine Fuqa, who's famous for films such as Training Day, Equalizer, and Southpaw. So, with some pretty good films under his belt, I was actually pretty excited to see his name attached to this project. I was also excited about the cast. They seemed great. I like the direction the movie seemed to be going after seeing trailer 2, and I like the fact that it was a Western. When almost every other film from Hollywood is a superhero film, every blockbuster action movie is a superhero film, you start to go through a bit of fatigue. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy superhero movies, but it's nice to see something from a different genre every once in a while. So it was cool to see that, and I personally really enjoy Westerns. I told you last time my next video is going to be about strictly Westerns, so yeah, I was excited for this movie. And the final product was pretty awesome. I had a really good time with this film. So when it opened up, this movie opens in a pretty cliche but solid way. It shows the villain coming into this town. You know, he just strolls right in, and he just starts, he just kind of puts his foot down, and he's like, I have a lot of money, I have a lot of men, so you're mine now. And it is kind of weird, like, stuff like that could just happen in those times. It's just kind of odd now, but you think about it, and that would be pretty terrifying. So this guy and his band of miscreants, they just come in, they take this town over through violence and fear, and it's theirs now. So someone has to be called upon to stop all this, obviously, and that's where our heroes come in. Now, I will say I was concerned about this movie a bit, especially after seeing Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh man, they have 7 main characters, pretty much, well, 7 main characters, and then if you count the girl, I forget the actress's name, she did a really good job, by the way, but including her, there's 8 main characters, so it's not a small cast, not at all. So I was a little nervous how they were going to introduce them all, but those fears were really laid to rest after seeing the movie, because they kind of just weave the characters into the story, which should be how it's done. I said this in my Suicide Squad review. One of the biggest problems with that movie was in the very beginning, when they took like the first 30 minutes to establish these characters as if they were trading cards. They were showing you these backstories one after the other, and you just wanted it to end. With a movie like this, when they actually weave the characters into the story, it makes them more interesting, but also the movie more enjoyable to watch. You're not constantly checking your watch, waiting for these scenes to end because they come at complete surprise. So I thought that was really well done. Bravo, Antoine Fuqa, because that was refreshing to see. It was a great time. First things first, this movie is fun. Don't go into it expecting, some great Sergio Leone Western. Go in expecting a fun popcorn action movie with some pretty good substance. I'm not saying it's a dumb action movie. There's smart action movies and there's dumb action movies. This one is leaning more towards the smart side. It was a lot of fun. I felt the action in it was well deserved. It wasn't ever like out of the blue action where it just comes out of left field and they just have fight scenes to have fight scenes. There was actually some build-up to it, which was also nice to see. I liked seeing that kind of modernized yet still paying tribute to old westerns. A lot of the cinematography in this film actually paid a lot of homage to older westerns like Sergio Leone's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, some Once Upon a Time in the Old West, movies like that. It was really cool to see them kind of pay respects to those movies while also making it their own original film. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, the gunfights were a lot of fun. Whenever they, started whipping out their revolvers and just firing at each other, like I said, it was well-deserved action. There was a lot of build-up to it, and it was fun to watch. So I did go see this movie with a couple friends, and I think that's a good environment to see it in. If you see it with a couple other people, I think seeing it in theaters is beneficial. That's how we did it. Obviously, it's still in theaters, but no, we had a lot of fun. But I will say at the very beginning, first of all, this movie is one of the more violent PG-13 movies I've seen. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just kind of funny to see where there's just guy after guy getting blown away, you know, just shot in the face, all that fun stuff, stabbed, everything. It's got the whole package in there, and it still pulls out with a PG-13 rating. But when this movie began, I talked about earlier how the villain is shown first and the conflict is brought up at the very beginning of the movie. Well, when he's there in the town to start, he kills some folks. Yeah, he kills some of the town folks. And it's not like he pulls the trigger and the camera cuts away outside the town and like some birds fly away. No, they show the people getting shot. It's not like a blood fest, you know, it's not like Quentin Tarantino, Django Unchained, but it's not a, what can I say, it's pretty violent. An axe gets thrown into someone's back, they show the impact of that, and I leaned over to one of my good friends and I said, PG-13 folks, you know, kind of as a joke, and he laughed, but I could tell it was like kind of a confused laugh, like, huh, alright, yeah. But then it hit him and he turned, he's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, this is a PG-13 movie. He thought it was R. So The Magnificent Seven was a great film. It was a lot of fun. Great time for sure. I enjoyed the direction of the movie. I liked all the characters. I liked the actors and actresses' performances. There were some great performances all around the board here. Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington, you know, they were the standouts, but Chris Pratt and all the others, they did a really good job too. So nice job on the actors there. So it was really well cast. But yeah, the action was fun. This is just a fun movie all around the board. If you have the chance, definitely check it out. It's a really enjoyable film. I had a great time. I think you will too. But yeah, for a lot of people, this is the reason to go to a movie. Just to have a good time. You know, enjoy your time there at the movie and get your hour and a half's worth. So yeah, if you can, definitely check this movie out because it was great. So yeah, that's all I have to say for the movie. But until next time, stay tuned, you guys.